GM, GM, GM.
Yo, GM, happy Wednesday.
Let's go. Oh, we're on the wrong side. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Can't let Kenkel Park see that.
Yeah. Yo, don't tell Zeke.
Yo, happy Wednesday, everyone that's here. Thanks for joining, filing in this afternoon, morning, whatever it is for you. We're glad you're here. We got some news to break down today. Lots of stuff happened in the last couple of days. Some good, some bad, some controversial maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Kind of a sneak peek at the end of the show. We got a Paperhands segment coming again. We're gonna give Schiller a break. He's not featured this week, but it's just some Paperhands coming out. So we got those, and we also have Immutable, the chat's own mod. Immutable is coming on stream for Pick'em, and we're gonna whenever at the end, just a little preview. We're gonna be picking NFT projects that we want to see turned into a movie, and that's gonna be an exciting one. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yo, Jeremy, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, brother. I got my honey lavender latte. So, life's good.
Honey lavender.
Got a little blueberry muffin.
Man, the life you live. I want to be like Yo German whenever I grow up. I want to go to these little small coffee shops, get these specialty things, and but I don't get that. But eventually, I'm striving to be like you.
Hey, man, I'm curled up in this comfy sweater like DSB mentioned. That got the little Aztec sweater on. But yeah, I mean, I honestly think some guys from the server, we should just go on a trip like around the world a little bit, try out some coffee places, go to like Colombia, Guatemala, all these. Man, that would be cool. Peru,
just to try out coffee places. This is the plan?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down. It's we got the group together, and yeah, let's just go and send it.
Yeah, but yeah, special shout out to the ones who are here early or to the stream early. It's not really early in the day, but maybe for DJs, 12 o'clock is kind of early. But yeah, we have Immutable coming on, like Tagline said. Pretty excited for that. He is a big fish, though, so bring your water. He needs it. We'll hop right into things.
All right. Well, as usual, let's break down some of the markets, some of the numbers that we've been seeing the last 24 hours. So on Monday, everyone remembers it was just red across the board. There was no green. Since then, we're starting to see some things stabilize. Not everything's going down as fast. It looks like we kind of stopped the bleeding. Maybe we hit the bottom, or we're just waiting until more information comes out before it goes down further or goes up. But so we got some of the top gainers for the last 24 hours. We've got 3 landers. They're up 29%. These it's a new project, and they're still fluctuating. They're still finding their place. I still don't own any, but I know several people that do, and they're pretty bullish on them. Yeah, I mean, you have any thoughts on 3 landers? They've done pretty well.
Dude, I mean, they've performed pretty well over the last 7-10 days. Like, yeah. In terms of being steady, like not absolutely going down like 40-50%. I mean, I think there was a big drop, one big drop day for them.
They did.
But other than that, I mean, they've held steady, man. They got a lot of support. So I don't really know who's in that community, but hey, y'all got some diamond handers.
They definitely have some support. I know they got up to 2.5, and then they dropped down to like 1.4, 1.3, and then they've just now come up to 1.8. And Mongo brings up a good point. I guess I missed this. I didn't realize why, but this could explain the pump. It looks like they maybe announced a snapshot coming for a drop or some kind of feature for their holders. So that could definitely be a cause of the pump. And maybe after that snapshot happens, we'll see it drop down again.
Hey, real quick, get your opinion. Would you rather projects that when there's a snapshot happening, or not?
Like, would I rather them announce
stealth?
A snapshot in the future or a stealth?
Yeah.
I would. Man, that's tough. If it's a project that I know, like, if it's a project that I'm bullish on long term and I have no intentions of selling or getting out, I'd prefer a stealth snapshot, like Bored Apes. But if the selfish part of me is, if it's a project that I'm kind of looking to get out of, then I want them to announce it, because I know that pump's going to happen, and it's a good opportunity for me as a seller to sell into the wave of news and to sell into that pump.
Yeah.
What about you?
Overall, I'd say stealth for the majority.
Yeah.
Just do it. No artificial movements in the market.
Yeah.
But if there's a combination one where you need 3, you need 5, you need 10, of these NFTs to qualify, then I think those are worthy of an announcement.
Yeah.
Or at least a window of time, like, hey, somewhere in between, and then make it, a week, 2 weeks. So that way there's not that much market manipulation, and
Yep.
things stay stable. Because when you see a bunch of that volatility, like, it's not really good for anybody. So I prefer stealth.
Yeah, I definitely would prefer stealth, unless I'm just trying to get out. But in general, definitely stealth. I know Cool Man's did that, but I mean, one disadvantage I see of a project announcing, if they announce a snapshot, someone that holds 5 of the project is going to split those 5 into all different wallets, and they're going to try to take advantage of that snapshot as best they can. So I would try to avoid that and just like Cool Man's did early January, they took a snapshot and then like 2 weeks later they announced that they did that. That's how I prefer projects to do it moving forward.
Yeah, we do got a poll in the chat going, so just let us know if you prefer public or stealth. But yeah, we'll move on.
Yeah, and then so another gainer, I try to look past. We've talked about this before. You can see the volume on this row right here. I try to look past these low volume projects because the tiniest bit of movement changes their numbers. It fluctuates. So if I'm looking at the next kind of biggest one, I'm looking at this one down here. So I'm looking at cyber brokers. We talked about these on Monday. They're not going away. These are 2.2. I think they keep just like 3 lenders. They're fluctuating. They're going up and down. We got the Doge Cam going on, yo Jeremy. But the cyber brokers they're going up and down. They're up almost 10% in the last 24 hours, back up to almost 2.2. They look good. I mean, I think we both like the vibes of them. I don't think you and I own any of them, but it's something I'm definitely trying to pay attention to now. I mean, they're sticking around. I'm seeing a lot of talks of them on Twitter, which is always good. You want to see these projects. You want to see them have a presence on social media, so they don't just fade away. But are you still looking into these? Are you just staying away? Are you just impressed that they're sticking around? Is this kind of what you expected with them?
Hey, to be honest, recently when I had heard of cyber brokers, I saw Schiller pumping them in the Discord. So to me, that meant like stay away. So I stayed away, but they do look pretty good. They have they have that Valorant art style.
Yeah.
I still haven't looked into the project specifically or in a detailed manner, but I'm surprised to see the way that they're performing this week. But again, it's kind of like we have a better feeling this week. It's a lot different than last week. Last week, everybody was ready to call it quits and it's over. NFTs are dead. And this week, there's a little life being pumped in.
I mean, I guess definitely the last 24 hours was more life pumped in, but on Monday, I think the feeling was people were ready to call it quits still. It is pretty toxic on Twitter and on NFT Twitter on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
It looks like it's the bleeding stops. So at least I think people shifted away from that right now. Yeah, if we look on the flip side for some of the top losers in the last 24 hours, we've got the the number one, the hype bears. Not so hype, it turns out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember these minting?
I do.
Yeah, they were this is one of the most hyped up projects that I remember since like Mechaverse, all these ones that just pay social media influencers. They just bring these celebrities in. And
everywhere on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
And I remember we talked about the reveal. The reveal is completely terrible. So I mean, this just kind of goes to show anyone in the chat, if you're new to NFTs, if you see these hyped up projects, you see 100,000 people in the Discord, you see they have more followers than the Bored Apes on the Bored Ape verified Twitter. That just goes to show, don't buy into the hype. If it's something you do like, maybe wait a few weeks, wait till the hype dies down. And this is a good example of, the hype bears didn't live up to it. They're down 33%, 0.12 floor is just, not good.
We need a rug animation, an overlay, like a little splash.
A rug, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Maybe we can get a rug emote as well for the chat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we've also got a couple more I wanted to talk about on this. MFers, we keep talking about these. They keep just slowly dropping, but they took a pretty big drop over the last day. They're down to 1.7. I'm sorry. I know Imtoli, who's coming on later. He's got an MFer. BSB's in the chat. He's crying right now. He put the emote there. I know he's got a few. I still vibe with him, and I'm still looking for a good entry point. So I'm still watching these closely. But I know they're compared to cryptodes a lot because they're both CCO, public domain. No roadmap, nothing really. But I think I tend to like the MFers more than the toads because it's more of a someone can I identify with it more than a cryptode.
Hey, rip.
Rip. All right.
Rip.
Perfect. Well said. Then the last one, it was kind of what talked about. I guess this is the flip side of the snapshot. So we got Gutter Cat Gang. Gang. They're down 13%. They're down back below 5. And they were one of the top gainers a couple of days ago because they had the announcement of a snapshot. So they pumped. Snapshot happened yesterday, and now they've dumped. To be expected. And this is what the Gutter Cats has been around 5 ETH for a while now.
Yeah, this is kind of something that happens every time that there's like a companion, or a second gen, third gen, whatever. It's kind of like the value gets spread across those assets rather than like purely supplemental, right? And you see this happen a lot, at least in the short term when projects do this. If the project is like a successful one, then of course, probably both assets increase over time to greater than what it was before. But in the short term, again, using Gutter Cat as an example, maybe they were 6 ETH or something like that, but then or 5.5, and then once the other asset comes out, then it doesn't become immediately more than that 5.5. They just kind of add together to be 5.5.
Yeah, and we saw this with the planets, the planetary DAOs from MetaHeroes. They were before their snapshot, they were at like above 0.3, and the last I checked their price yesterday they got down to 0.1, 0.12, and I don't know what it is today, this morning, if they've recovered at all, but they definitely dropped. And I'm curious to see those mint passes, what those end up being at, if it fills that difference, because with that big supply, I don't really see the mint pass 2 filling that difference for that particular project, but we'll see how it pans out for them. And we've got some news, some U.S. news that happened in the crypto NFT Web3 space. We had an executive order, and it actually just was signed this morning, and the details were released this morning, but we kind of had a teaser yesterday. Last night, the Secretary of Treasury released like a response before the executive order was actually released, so it was kind of some spoilers, some leaks. But yeah, so here it is. So we got Biden signed an executive order on digital assets. So before we hop into any details or anything about this, whenever you first saw this break, what was your initial reaction? Because I know I saw a lot of people, their initial reaction was, all right, that's the end, pack it up, we're done, we're dumping, they're banning it.
Nah, I mean, mine were pretty tame. I didn't know, I wasn't leaning positive or negative. I just knew that it wasn't going to have as much detail or penalties or all this other stuff as people thought, because it's way too fast, right? Especially regarding NFTs. Of course, crypto has been around for quite a while now, but the thought and idea on the market size of NFTs has not. So for them to put in regulations immediately and stuff like that, I knew that wasn't going to happen. It was just kind of hey, we plan to, and then now we're dedicating the resources, the time, and the money, the budget to do that, eventually come out with that. So I knew it was going to be pretty tame, but I was curious to see how far they went into, and then how they segmented things as well. There's different blockchains, of course, then there's the cryptocurrencies, the tokens versus, or the coins versus the tokens, right? NFTs. So I was interested.
Yeah, I mean, similar to you, I was kind of neutral. I didn't think it was this whole doom and gloom. Oh, that's it. That's the end. They're going to ban it. They're going to highly regulate it. But it wasn't really that at all. I mean, if we look into it, it's we're not going to read through this. I'll put the link in the chat if anyone wants to actually look through in depth later. But so it really is just hey, we're gonna direct these government agencies, these different parts of it to DYOR. You know, they're going to do their own research. They're going to dig into crypto, into digital assets. You know, find the risks, find the basically find the pros and cons. And yeah, I mean, I think it's good. And you know, I think it kind of legitimizes this space and legitimizes crypto in general. And I think that's a good thing for crypto. I actually kind of think this is, I don't want to say bullish, but it's not bearish, right? I think this is a good thing because this has to happen. Even though I know we just talked about the buzzword decentralization, you know, it's the fancy word to say, but at the end of the day, we all live in, you know, we live in a certain nation and we live under their laws. So there has to be some kind of regulation or some kind of oversight or some kind of partnership between the governments and whatever's going on in this world. You know, to be realistic, you have to have some give and take there. And I think this is good. I think it's definitely good.
Yeah, you know, taxman gets paid, right? Taxman gets paid. So
taxman gets paid.
Hey, I mean, the way it is, you know, we're hopefully making a lot of money here, but the blockchain does not pay like our public services, our healthcare, infrastructure, education, all of these things, right? And that's money that's really being taken away from any country that you live in and its citizens. So yeah, this has to happen. And I know this isn't specifically about taxes, but I mean, at the end of the day,
it'll get there.
Yeah, it'll get there. This is a way for them to make sure that things are transparent, things are legal, and then basically that we do pay our taxes and that money goes to where it needs to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from there, that's where we kind of have issues because, you know, a lot of citizens feel like that money that's being taken for taxes isn't necessarily being put to the right places. But it's just good to see that they're wanting to embrace cryptocurrency and NFTs and digital assets. Of course, there's selfish reasons behind it, but regardless, just the fact that they do want to embrace it is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, I think we're both kind of in agreement here. It's bound to happen. It's a good thing. I'm glad that they're going to be looking into it. I just hope that they look into it from a neutral perspective and not just like let's just look into it. Let's just look at the bad and try to extrapolate however much money we can and just frame it as this bad thing. So, but I think this, I mean, I know the quote is, you know, everyone always says, "Oh, we're still early." You know, I went on a plane sharing my Bored Ape stuff and no one said anything. We're still early. But I just feel like this type of announcement, I was looking at a bunch of news headlines, everything. I only really saw Bitcoin named. It's like maybe the government doesn't even know how deep this actually is. And BSB says, you know, US is about to go full degen with us. Like they're about to find out how deep this rabbit hole actually is. So I'm really curious to see how long this process takes for them. But it really makes me interested, and I kind of wanted to segue into another thing is, you know, maybe this is a good sign or a good time to talk more about Lobby 3, you know, that Andrew Yang DAO that, you know, it's the purpose is to work with policymakers, to work with lobbyers and these elected officials on blockchain technology on Web3. Like maybe this is a good time to, you know, dive into Lobby 3. You know, if this executive order is directing people or directing organizations to look into it, and that's a good way for Lobby 3 to kind of step in and say, hey, you know, we represent this community. Let's work together. Let's talk, basically. And I don't know. Maybe it's a good time. Maybe that's a good thing for Lobby 3. And I know their sale closes tomorrow, and I was looking at it this morning. I haven't bought any yet, but maybe I may jump in before the sale ends, just because of this executive order. And it's something I want to be a part of. I'm not looking for it to make money or anything, but something I would like to be a part of because I'm part of this community. I love to. You know, I'm pretty bullish on the technology, and I want to see where it goes, and I kind of want to be a part of those conversations and feel like I have a say.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it well. There's not too much to add to that. Yeah, Bartolo, as you mentioned, U.S. about to go full degen with us. Yeah, any interaction with this article is considered for whitelist. So be sure to visit the article, highlight a word, like it, share it. You get on the U.S. government whitelist.
we're gonna start seeing these senators and congressmen start grinding whitelist spots
Yep.
in discords. Cool, but yeah, so that's kind of breaks that up. Like I said, there's not really a lot of information. It's just a lot of fluff, but I'm looking forward. I think we're both looking forward to seeing what this leads to. Chat. I'm curious what chat. Curious what you guys think about this and what your reaction was. But we also had back to NFT news. We had a drop yesterday, a pretty big drop from a big, not big, but like a well-known brand in NFTs. So we had the Gutter Cat Gang, and they dropped their Gutter Juice. I'm still not really sold on that word. Like they're calling it gutter juice. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of like the word like moist. It's like it doesn't sit well, right? It's like gutter juice. But they dropped their gutter juice Dutch auction. Started at I think like 0.9 or 0.8 ETH and dropped all the way down to 0.1 and ended up selling out at 0.1. They sold 16,000 of these clone gutter juice vials yesterday, and they're airdropping 12,000 more to all their current holders. So they're introducing 28,000 of these clones, but mutants or whatever you may say. These basically they're adding 28,000 to their ecosystem to bring their total supply to 40,000. Did you get in on the gutter juice drop? Are you interested in it? What was your takeaways?
Nah, I did not. I wouldn't be opposed to it, picking up maybe a cat and a dog or something like that, gutter juice. I think long term it's a pretty low entry cost to be exposed to Gutter Cat Gang. The thing is that they pretty much haven't performed at all, like in history, in the past, right? I mean, they've had almost a whole year, like the majority of a year, to do something at that 3.3 thousand quantity that they have, and the price just speaks for itself. And I know the floor doesn't say everything about a project, but I mean there's just tons of examples where they've just been passed up time and time again. So I mean the people are speaking with their money, and gutter cats are consistently being passed up on. And there's a reason for that, right? Yeah. And then plus, you just see a lot of copying and mocking. And it's like, and I'm not going to say Bored Apes owns this mutant idea. And Gutter Cats may have even had it in their mind before Bored Apes. But it's like who executed it first and then how that is perceived. Because perception is reality in our sense. And I don't know. It's not a good look. I mean, I'm sure they'll do well. 0.125, pretty cheap. So if you're not in Gutter Cats, this is a good way to do it. But I wouldn't expect much, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll say if you're looking for some engagement on Twitter, buy one of these and just go tweet gang gang, and you're gonna get like 1,000 retweets and likes. So if you're looking for engagement, I'm totally, Hunar out there. Hey, this is for you guys, right? But I mean, I'm kind of torn on it. So my two issues with Gutter Cats, and this is from the beginning, and I'm into Gutter Cats. I held them for a long time. Sorry, I'm totally. I minted them. I held them for a long time. I liked them early on, but one of my big issues was, and this is where I'm torn. So the first issue I had was a 3,000 supply initially. You're not going to have that reach that a 10,000 supply is going to have. You only have 1,500 unique holders as opposed to 6,000 that the Bored Apes have. So just off the gate, you're not going to have as many people, spreading brand awareness for you, right? And that's one of my big issues. That kind of puts a cap on you. So, and I guess where I'm torn is that this drop kind of fixes that a little bit. Like now, more people are exposed to the Gutter Cat ecosystem, so that's a good thing, right? So more people are going to be saying gang gang on Twitter. I've been seeing it the last 24 hours. So I guess that fixes that issue. That's good on them for expanding their ecosystem. But my other issue with Gutter Cats since the beginning is, there's a lot of copy and paste in NFTs. We see it all the time. I think the Gutter Cats are the worst copy and pasters. They have done basically nothing original. I think the only original thing they did was they went to Las Vegas before any other NFT did like a big trip, but it was just like I came across as like the info and the things I heard out of that trip didn't really make me want to be a holder. It was like, okay, it just sounds like they just went and I don't know. It wasn't like a well put together conference from what I heard.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're just the history of Gutter Cats is just copy what apes are doing, copy what so and so is doing. Look at their roadmaps, look at their everything they've done has been done before by other successful projects, and they're just trying to ride those coattails, and basically in the form of a cat or a rat or a dog or a pigeon.
One thing that they did, but it wasn't too original, but instead, Bored Apes just released the Kennel Club, right? And then Gutter Cats, they released their own, pets or companions and like that, stuff like that. But then they added more species. So sure, that was original. It actually wasn't received that well. I remember they took a little bit for them to sell out, actually. But I mean, they're doing fine now. But it is, I don't know. Like again, like you said, I feel like they're more copy pastas. I don't know if they need to add more people to their team, or they already have added people to their team, and hopefully they can help them in their like creative design and with their roadmap going forward. But yeah, I think they're gonna need a lot to still pull them out from the hole that they're in.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if this drop helps them. They've got more holders now, but because for the longest time there, the current holders. I mean, do you remember back like end of last year, the Lazy Lions on Twitter?
Absolutely.
The loudest community on Twitter, right? They commented on everything.
Yeah.
I think Gutter Cats passed them, right? And that's not a compliment. That's not saying, hey, good for them. That's like someone posts a tweet about some random NFT project, and then you'll see a Gutter Cat first response. Hey, well, check out the gang. They're doing this. And it's like, oh, that has nothing to do with this tweet. But thanks for commenting. So they're kind of on that level, and it's just, I don't know. It's a big turnoff. But again, this copy pasta. I feel like this drop is basically they combine the mutant serums and they combine the Clone X vials, and just like, hey, these are two successful things. Let's just combine it into one thing. And that's kind of what they did. They're literally calling them clones, and they've got their almost the same type of style of vial as the Clone X vial, right? They kind of look pretty similar, just different color. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how it works out. I haven't bought any yet. I'll be watching. I don't think I'm going to buy any, just because my feelings, like I don't really believe in the team that well. But I mean, it's good for us to recap. And I know several people in the Discord, they bought them. It was a good opportunity. If you were looking for a flip, it was probably a good opportunity to buy the Dutch auction at 0.1, because you had I think at one point before they revealed to the species, they were up to like 0.2 or something. So it was an easy 2x.
What I wanted to say though is that there are a lot worse things to spend 0.12 on. 0.13 on, and people have been in the last 2-3 weeks. So I mean, if you're gonna spend that like on an absolute trash project, at least let that trash project be gutter juice.
Yeah, like I would rather spend 0.1 on gutter juice than 0.1 on the Ty Lopez OG. That they are the same price. But I got these pulled up. I wanted to get your thoughts on what we think these look like, or how you think they look. 'Cause they got some. They have some like teasers, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So we've got. We'll just play the slideshow real quick. We can just leave it here. So this is what I guess they're going to look like. They're still a few weeks out, so I'm sure they're still working on the art and finalizing it. But I mean, just based off this quick, GIF of a few of them, what's your takeaways of these?
I mean, considering what the Gen 1 looks like, well, in the species, like these look pretty good, for their art style. I mean, I'm not disappointed with these at all. I think they look pretty dope. Again, considering that it's not a new collection itself. If this was a brand new collection, I'd be like, "Fud it, trash." But knowing that this is from the Gutter Cats and the Gutter species, like these look pretty good. I think it's well done so far.
Yeah, I mean, some of it, like it's weird, like some of it looks like, oh yeah, that looks nice, and some of it I look at it, I'm like, that looks super low effort. So I'm curious to see how they all look out. With a collection of 28,000, I wonder how many are going to look just identical to each other. So we'll see.
I might, this is like a good gift, maybe. Like maybe somebody's first NFT, because it's not that super high ROI that you may feel bad for giving away at some point. It's not going to 5x in the next month, but at the same time, you do know that there's a good. There's at least a decent chance that these things will be around for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it can kind of grow slowly and allow somebody to have that digital identity. Although you are putting them with the gutter cat gang, and I don't know, maybe that's not the community for them. So
Yeah, that's the thing, because as soon as you get that to them, they're like, oh, I gotta go join the Discord and be
Yeah.
involved, and then all of a sudden they're gonna be commenting gang gang on every Twitter post they see.
gang. Yeah. So you got to give it to the right person, but I think these are good gifts. I think it's like a solid, fair price. So
Yeah. And they've got like the vials, right? It looks like the floor is 0.13, so it's barely above the sellout point. But that's just because they revealed in the pigeons. People hate the pigeons. They're the cheapest one. Pigeons and the rats. The dogs and the cats are more expensive. I think the cats are like 0.4. So they're, if you were lucky enough to reveal some of those, then you made out pretty well by buying a 0.1. But yeah, so that's a gang gang. We've talked about gang gang a lot today. It's a little too much for me, you know. We're gonna start having some Twitter comments, I think, you know, once this comes out.
yeah, too much gang. We got to move on.
All right, so we've got on the flip side, we've got the Bored Apes. So yesterday they sent this tweet out. They basically were able to, I guess they looked at kind of the wallets that hold apes, saw that they donated around $1 million to Ukraine, and they decided to match it, and they donated $1 million to match that to Ukraine as well. Tweet took off, very well received. I mean, whenever you saw this, what were your initial thoughts?
I thought that was pretty cool, but they did this in stealth, right? And so I was thinking like a lot of people probably weren't donating from the wallet that they have. Well, I mean, obviously it's 1 million, so the amount is definitely a lot,
Right.
but it could have potentially not been a lot of people. So it didn't include the wallets that, you know, are proxy to the wallets that hold the Bored Apes. So if they would have, and again, like I understand why, because maybe if they said, hey, we're going to match your donations, and then people can just, you know, put wallets that they didn't really donate and say, yeah, this is my wallet and I donated from here. So, you know, it's a tough criteria. I understand why they just kind of did this in stealth. And hey, at the end of the day, it's $1 million donated. That's pretty dope. They didn't have to do it. People didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
But just playing devil's advocate too, like that first comment, just devil's advocate, and then also they could have done this in silence as well, like it would have came out from somebody else. You know, that Bored Apes donated $1 million. It's kind of like, hey, look at us, we matched our donators, our community members. But no, I get it both ways. Pretty cool. Either way, that's 2 million, right? So 2 million to Ukraine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good thing, and you know, I think a lot of people. Some of the stuff I heard was, you know, they didn't have to say anything; they could just donate without saying it. But people aren't gonna look fully, and people always look for a way to tear down Bored Apes. So I'm sure if they saw some money leave the Bored Ape, you know, contract address or the wallet, then they're gonna be like, hey, where'd this money go to, without actually looking into where it went to. So that probably was them like front running some FUD, you know, with like saying, hey, where'd this $1 million go to? But I mean, I think it's good. I mean, I don't have any issues with it. I mean, what other project is doing this right now, or what project can do this, right? It's,
Yeah.
you know, I'm glad to see that Bored Apes, you know, we saw this, you know, they gave all their artists $1 million bonus. You know, I'm glad to see they're not just, they didn't raise this money, they didn't sell it mutants, they didn't take all these fees, and they're not just like grappling it and withdrawing it to their personal wallets. You know, I'm glad to see that they're holding on to it and they're looking for ways to, you know, donate it or give back to the community or use it to build. So I think it's a good sign in that aspect.
And also subliminally, and I don't want to get too deep into this because I don't know if it's too like appropriate for stream, but a lot of the FUD that came out before for Bored Apes is, you know, if you know the history of Russia and the USSR, and, you know, they had so many messages hidden in their art, is what people were saying. And this is kind of like them endorsing like the opposite side of that, like, hey, we are against that, we do stand against that, and what not only happened in the past, but what's happening now today. So it could be something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we've got, this is more in your ballpark, right? This next piece of news, and we hinted on it on the show at the very end of our show on Monday. This news kind of broke, and we shared it, but now we can actually talk about it some more. But this is your ballpark. You're pretty big into Immutable, right?
I'm involved in quite a few projects on Immutable. Yeah.
I guess more so than I am, because I think I'm involved in zero on Immutable. I'm underexposed, absolutely. But so this news broke on Monday.
Yeah.
They raised $200 million based off of a $2.5 billion evaluation. Whenever you saw this, what were your initial takeaways?
I thought, shit.
You thought, that cash.
It's like, yo, get the bag. Mama, we made it. But I thought that was pretty cool for them, man. But also, that's just like a taste of how much money there is to be injected into this ecosystem. Did somebody give them 2.5 billion straight up? No, right? They gave them 200 million. So it's 200 million cash, whatever assets. That's a lot different than 2.5. But the fact that they're valued at 2.5, still, there's just money being tossed everywhere. Again, I gave y'all the list of like investors that I follow. I can probably put that on the Notion or put that on Twitter for you guys. But there is tons of money being flown, put into these Web3 companies, and it's still, we're relatively early, yet there's this much money. So there's so much to come, and that's why everything that we've seen in this space so far is really just the tip of the iceberg. Like, we're going to discover, develop, we're going to start exploring this frontier and seeing new and better things. So that's why you do kind of have to be careful into what projects you get in long term. Because again, the stuff that we see today is going to be like 2 stars out of 5 in maybe 2 to 3 years, or maybe even closer, because the rate of development in today's world is mind blowing. So IMX, or actually this is Immutable. So this is like the parent company. The parent company, Immutable, owns NFT games, Guild Guardians, Gods Unchained. They own the IMX blockchain. And then they've partnered as like a title partner with a lot of upcoming games as well. They do have a token that is called IMX, and I don't know, we may have that in the chat. Let me check it out. IMX, yeah, we do. So that's sitting at 162. I think they did get a pump off of this news, but everybody knows it was just going to be like another pump and dump for that day. And disclosure, I do own IMX, and I've actually held that since the beginning when I got that airdropped late last year. But Immutable, for those of you who don't know, or IMX at least, is another blockchain that's built, on top of Ethereum. And what they're able to do is, again, just like Polygon, be able to do a lot of operations, many X times the layer 1 of Ethereum, right? And then they do this in a gasless manner. So that's why it's compelling. They're building a scalable platform. And there are many games that are being built on it because of how fast that they can do those operations. So it's interesting here. They're based out of Australia. Again, I think I mentioned on stream the other day, the 3 big markets at the moment are like United States, Canada, and Australia. Yeah. And you see quite a bit of crypto tech companies coming out of Australia. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think my biggest takeaway from this is looking at that third paragraph. They raised money in 2021 on a $410 million valuation, and now it's 2.5 billion. Like, that is parabolic growth, right? That's that's like unicorn status already, and it's just that just shows like this space. Like, if you're innovating and you're bringing something different and you're bringing value to people and you're building, that just shows you how much value is actually there and how quick that value can build. And people on the outside are looking to get in, right? Like, these investors are ready to jump in and partner with these organizations, with these people. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So GG's to Immutable, man. Get that bag.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that 200 million and how they're going to keep building. All right, so we've got a little bit similar. We got some more. We talked about this on, I think, Friday. We had some big brands entering Web3. Maybe this is going to be almost a weekly thing where we just talk about new brands and entering the space, or what some big brands are doing. So and we got 2 more coming in recently. So we've got the first one, so DraftKings, they're joining with Polygon. They got this partnership, and they're actually not just doing like a partnership, but they're actually like being like a validator for Polygon, and they're going to be earning staking awards. Like this, I think this is one of the first. I think they say it's one of the first, corporate validators on Polygon. Pretty big, but I think it's pretty big for both DraftKings and Polygon. Did you see this? Did you have any reactions to this, or just kind of, this is a good move for both sides?
Yeah, DraftKings has been in the space actually for a little bit because they
Yep.
already partnered like with Autograph and they handle Autograph's marketplace. But yeah, I think this is a great kind of pivot, and it's not a 180 from what DraftKings is doing. They're going to keep their current business model and stuff, but they're also like embracing the technology that the blockchain provides, right? The
Yeah.
features and benefits that blockchain provides, and I think this is a great move by them. To be honest, I mean, all the stars align. Kind of this, degens were on DraftKings. Those are like Web 2 degens, and then you got a Web 3 coming from blockchain, and it's gonna
Right.
create this huge monster. And for better or worse, but I can tell you who it is better for, and it's better for DraftKings. Like they will make hundreds of millions from this.
Absolutely. I mean, and you kind of said it. We see like a lot of like there's tons of degens in DraftKings. DFS is such a big category for sports betting, and there's such a big carryover from DFS, from these DraftKings or FanDuel sites to people that got into NFTs early last year. There's a huge layover because it's just at the end of the day they're just degens trying to make money, and that's if you got your ear to the ground, then you were in NFTs last year. So I think it's kind of on brand for them, but yeah, I think it's pretty big news for both Polygon and DraftKings. We got one more. This is a little bit more, not as big, but hey, we got Papa John's entering NFTs. Speaking of bags, look look how young and hip Papa John's is looking right here in this picture, right?
Look at all those Gen Zs.
Look. Marketing on point for them. But get your bag of Papa John's. I mean, they're sold out now, but they released this. They released their NFT earlier. I think it was earlier this week. They actually did it on Tezos. So I know a lot of people in this channel watching. They did a lot on HEN with Tezos. They have experience there. But so they released their Genesis NFT. And it was basically a pizza bag, like a delivery bag was their NFT, and you could go claim it for free on Tezos. And they released 19,840 of them. And the significance of that number is, they were founded in 1984, so that was their, that's why they released that amount. But yeah, so Papa John's is in, and I think they plan on, they've got a full FAQs. Basically, if you hold one of their NFTs, then you're eligible for giveaways of like a physical retro Papa John's delivery bag. We could just add that to the merch. Put that right here in my background. Put that Papa John's bag, and hey, we're ready to go. But I think this is kind of, I mean, it's an interesting way. I feel like they have to do this because we've already seen Domino's go into they made their move into the metaverse where you can actually order pizza through. So I think Papa John's is probably going to take that next step as well eventually. But this is probably their first way of getting their first step in the door, right?
Yeah, and a lot of big brands are actually considering Tezos because of the green effort by them, right? Like again, like energy efficient, and they're covered. They're offsetting the energy that it takes to mint these NFTs. So that's why a lot of these brands are considering Tezos for that, versus the layer 1 Ethereum.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Papa John's, Domino's was first, I guess. I'm sure there's a lot of other pizza brands, but Domino's was first, I think, out of the pizza brands to the NFT scene, at least in terms of the major pizza makers. Yeah, actually, I don't know about the whole Gen Z branding thing, but
yeah, it's kind of weird. But,
yeah. Other than that, it's dope just to see brands
Yeah.
being active in the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that it was a free claim. It wasn't like, it wasn't a big brand trying to come in and say, hey, we're going to sell these for 0.1 ETH. And,
Yeah.
or it's a free claim. They're just using it to kind of just, reward the holders down the road for whoever is involved. It's a good way to market towards a different, I guess, not generation, but, it gives you a different age market to to go for
You know,
them.
yeah, these guys have the money. They have the balance sheet. Like they have the budget to do stuff without needing to raise money from the
Yep.
community. Is that a good business model? Like maybe not, but these guys are so large that they don't need that capital, right? So, you know, starting something for free, building out, using your own money to do it, like that makes sense for these guys, and that's gonna go way further than some of the other brands that we've seen come out. You know, 0.5, 1 ETH, 2 ETH.
Yeah, and these have already sold out or sold out. They've all been claimed. I don't know whenever that happened, but there is some secondary market. You can look them up. I tried finding them. I couldn't even find them on secondary. I think they're just hidden somewhere. But so I mean, hey, if you're interested in trying to get this, then you got some Tezos loaded up. Then hey, go grab your bag, as we say. You know, Jason says. You know, the guy standing, you know, he knows that Ad's gonna look cringe, right? He's got that look. He's like,
Hey, sorry, mama, how to do it, how to get my bag.
They pay me good, you know. But hey, some more brands entering. We'll see next week. You know, who else is entering? I feel like this list just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and yeah, it's exciting. It kind of legitimizes us being in Web3 and in NFTs. These bigger brands are starting to realize, that, hey, this isn't going away, right? All right, so we have now entered our first segment, and I think this is a favorite. I don't know. It's fun. It's always fun to go through some of these. So we got some paper hands. We're gonna let the chat decide who is the paper hands of the week. And I don't have any more of the paper hands NFTs, so I don't know if you have one. If you could pull it up and just, yeah, I mean, whenever we decide, you'll be able to send it to whoever the chat decides. But yeah, let's see the paper. This is the first paper hands that we actually have the paper hands emoji or the emote in the chat. So let's see those paper hands emotes throughout this. But I've got 5 to choose from this week. So here's the format again, where I'm going to present to you 5 cases of paper hands, and we're going to talk about them. And at the end of it, the chat and us, we're going to decide out of the 5 who gets the pleasure to receive a Genesis paper hand NFT created by our very own Yo Jeremy. And the winner, Yo Jeremy's gonna send them that, and they're gonna have that in their wallet. They're gonna get to cherish this and just realize they're gonna have a trophy of their accomplishment. All right, so let's jump into the first one. Papa John's, not really.
I was about to say. What?
So this is kind of low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of Cool Cats paper hands out there because of the price they're at right now, and from their peaks at 15 ETH a month ago. So this is an easy one, but we got this one, and this one was sold at its peak for 15.25. A month ago, right before Cooltopia was coming out.
Oh, talk about buying the top.
And they sold it yesterday for 6.39.
Oh no.
Whew. So a month later, they locked in.
Well,
I mean, a 9 ETH loss, pretty much.
But there was a trade in there, a transfer in there, so that's not the same owner that bought it.
That's true. I didn't catch that. I mean, I just assumed it was maybe like a wallet or a different wallet. So it could have been like a Looksrare sale or NFT trader sale. Wow, you called me out. We're gonna, what? This guy's off the hook. We're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
Disqualified.
DQ'd. But yeah, we're gonna take that away then. Now we're down to 4. We're gonna skip it. All right. So now Doodles. This is a kind of vibey doodle, right? It looks all right. So this guy.
It's vibey. Reminds me of Sicko.
And this is the same person that bought it, so we're not gonna have the same incident here, right? This person bought it 14 days ago for 11.4. And they sold it yesterday for 8 ETH.
2 weeks. Dang, 3.5.
So held it for 2 weeks and 3.5 loss.
Woo. Yeah, that's tough scene.
That is a real tough scene.
Okay, 3.4 is just straight up. Okay,
so 3.4. And 2 weeks hold. 2 weeks is not a lot. It's like what changed in that time, right?
Yeah. And
Like,
you can tell that it was still kind of like mispriced even at the 8.5 because this dude already relisted it 9.5.
This dude's making a flip right now. I think Doodle Floor is at 9 ETH right now, so he's probably gonna get the sell. And yeah, it's a nice little flip for him. You know,
Yeah.
it's good to take advantage of those paper hands. So here's the Doodle. All right, this next one, this one's near and dear because I like the toads, and this is a viber. You know, it's a skeleton toad with a hoodie. That is like a grail toad, right? I don't know if you remember
Hoodie
at peak,
toad.
Yeah, hooded toad at peak toad months ago was just like we had 60 ETH sales, 70 ETH sales. The sales are flying. So we've got this one sold 4 months ago. Actually, they got it for a WETH offer. They got it for 22, which they're you know, you gotta see where this is going. They bought it for 22, and then they sold it yesterday for 7.45. Let me get that off, but
Ooh.
Yeah.
No. Why?
the 22 to 7.45. That's a big drop off. That's 15 ETH. And my favorite thing is they sold it from a vault wallet. Like they transferred it to a vault and then sold it from that vault wallet. But yeah, I mean that's 14.5, 15 ETH in 4 months. I guess the benefit of the doubt, or the benefit is they held it longer than 2 weeks. They held it for 4 months. That's a pretty big drop off. That's a big L. That is a paper hand. So
Yeah.
that's a
That
big
reminds
one.
me of like manga or something. Like that's some type of stuff that manga would do.
So speaking of paper hands of toads, I'm not going to call this person out, but there is someone in the chat that did sell toads less than what they bought. But we're going to leave that unsaid and just let the we're not going to call them out. But if you know, basically, right? BSB says, "Sir." I wonder who it could be. All right, so moving on to our next one. We got a mutant, right? We got a trippy for, I think this is an M1. Yeah, M1 trippy.
Okay. It looks pretty clean.
Sold for 35 ETH a month ago.
And
And then the worst part about paper hands, whenever you see them take an offer,
on offer, because you know an offer is below market.
they took an offer of 16.15, basically taking a 50% L, you know, losing 16, just burning 16 ETH in a
Straight
month
up.
by taking an offer. This is a
Yeah.
pretty bad one.
Plus
So
the
I'm pretty sure, like,
fees.
I'm just curious what the M1 trippy floor is.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's pull it up.
So that's the one that sold. So the floor was at like 24. So they listed it, or they took an offer that
Yeah.
was like 9 ETH, 8 ETH below the floor
They need that
of that
out.
trait.
They need it out.
Yeah, this person saw right on Monday, Tuesday, and they said, "Get me out. This is gonna go
Get me
further
out.
down." But it looks like they sold the bottom. But yeah, I mean, what do we think about this one, Chad? This one's pretty bad. My favorite is the offer taken. That's how you know that that's how you know they're panicking, right? They take that offer.
Yeah, that's not a good look right there. I mean, straight up, like over 50% loss. That's wild.
Yeah.
On a mutant though, it's not like 50% loss on a crypto or some of these other like
Yeah.
brands or collections that have pumped and dumped. Like this is on a mutant.
That's over 30. That's like $35,000-$40,000 just down the drain, down and out. But yeah, so this mutant ape, and our last one, we got. I think this is our first appearance for a World of Women. And they've been up lately. But so this WoW was sold 3 days ago for 7.28, right? Mm-hmm. And then 2 days ago they took an offer for 6.2. So over the span of a day, they bought it for 7.28 and then decided, nope, never mind, get me out. Let me accept this offer. So,
All right, so let me set the scene here though for this one because I know this guy, right?
Oh, do you really?
I know this guy, and what he was planning to do, he bought this World of Women, and it was their dating anniversary. He brought it to his girlfriend. He
Right.
asked her, "Hey, in substitution for a ring, I propose to you with this World of Women," and she straight up said, "Nah," and so he had to take it back. He was so hurt. He accepted the offer. He said, "Get me out. I'm done." So that's what had happened here. So give this guy a little bit of courtesy.
I'm glad you know the guy. I'm glad you could clarify for that. That makes a lot more sense. And like Slicko says, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm totally. But yeah, I mean, my favorite part about this one is the ones before they've been 2 weeks, a month, 4 months. This was one day. They bought it and lost 1 ETH in 1 day.
Yeah,
Actually, more than that.
Get over her, man.
After fees, it was probably like 1.5 ETH at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we can do. I'll do a quick recap. We'll do these in order. Doodles is gonna be 1, Cryptodes 2, Mutant 3, the WoW 4. So Doodles 11.4 to 8 ETH in 2 weeks. We got the Cryptodes, 22 ETH to 7.45 in 4 months. And we got the Mutant in 1 month, 35 to 16. And then the last one, the WoW we just went over, 7.25 to 6.2 in 1 day. So chat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us know in the chat. Jeremy, who do you think? I guess we can do polls, right?
We can do a poll.
I keep forgetting we have polls. So we'll get that set up. But also, chat, let us know too who you're going to vote for. I'm seeing lots of 3s. Looks like that Mutant may be the popular option. We got a 2.
Who gets the paper hands? And then we have Doodle. We have Cryptodes. Is it Cryptotoads or Cryptodes?
Cryptodes.
We have Macy, Mutant Apes, and then we have WoW. All right, we're gonna put that up here for only 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Who gets the paper hands? Poll is up. Vote.
There we go. So while the chat's voting, Jeremy, I want to hear your reaction. Who do you think out of these? Who would you give this award to?
We got to consider all known facts, right? So we have to consider, the length of time held, the price paid. Yep. Did they take an offer? Did they sell it at market? What's this proposal rejection? So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Mutant, I believe, because Mutant, again, that was over a 50% drop. He accepted an offer, and it's a what most people call a blue chip, right? And if you're gonna take a loss, I don't think you needed to take this big of a loss. I think you're chilling. So yeah, for me, and it's a trippy. I mean, who does this? What kind of animal? Like,
normally people that buy a rare trait in a collection, they buy up. They have plans to hold it long term. Like, they have the means to buy a premium asset and hold it for the long haul. Basically, this person did not have those means. This person got those cold feet. They got those paper hands, and they said, "Get me out." They could actually. I'm really curious. Let's look further. Let's see if they listed it or if they just did straight offer. Okay, so they did. Oh man, this is not a hacked mutant or something like that. No, it's not. There's no alerts or anything, but
that's
looks
tough.
like they just kept lowering it. No one bought, so they just said, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to be patient because this would have sold eventually. If you're the floor of a rare trait like Trippy Fur, it's going to sell at one point.
Yeah.
Whether it be an hour or a few days. They just kept lowering it, and 16.5 offer. Man, let me tell you what this segment teaches me one thing. I need to convert some WETH, and I need to just send offers out on everything, and just hope I meet some of these people, right?
Yeah, and I'm taking a look at his sales. He has nothing left in the public view of his wallet. It could all be hidden, but let's see. He's sold. Oh wait, did he buy this hype bear? Okay, he bought a hype bear for 1.38. And he sold it 1 day ago for 0.17. So do we give this guy 2?
do we give them 2? It's oh man.
He also bought this is not the same hype, but he did buy one at one point for 8.33, and he took an offer for 2.3. The same one that he bought for 8.3, he sold for 4.5. Yo, this guy is getting roasted.
This activity feed is a piece of art. Right now, this is Harry says it best. This dude just hates money. He's like, why do I want to keep money?
Is this Schiller's alt?
Yeah, let's check the Etherscan. Let's check the transfers. How'd they get their money? Was it from the Schiller? Man. Well, it looks like I think it's the poll's over now, right? Was it the Macy that won?
Yeah, polls over. Make took it by a landslide. So I'm gonna send this guy not one, not two, but I'm gonna send him 3 paper hands.
You know, he's gonna
'Cause
have
he deserves it.
his only thing that's not a hidden folder is gonna be those paper hands NFTs, and it's gonna be glorious. All right. Well, chat, thanks for letting us decide that. This was a pretty bad case. I think I would agree. What did it for me was the offer. The taking the WETH offer is just like, that's just admitting defeat, right? That's just, you know what? I'm out money. Let's just take the offer and get out. That did it for me. And I mean, yeah, 16 ETH in a month is, whew, that's crazy. But all right, time for Immutable. I know you're in the chat, you're listening. I need you to click that link. I need you to join the stream. Can we get some? Let's get some hype. Speaking of hype, let's get some hype for Immutable joining the stream, right?
Yo, shout out your fish too.
Okay.
Did you feed your fish some bagels today?
I did.
Did you feed Tolly?
Yo, I guess that is a funny story. Yo, me and my wife we got a new betta fish for our house like a month ago, and I got the task of naming this fish, and I basically did a poll in our Discord saying, hey, who should I name this fish after? And I'm totally won. So we have a fish named Tolly. So Tolly's in Denmark. You know, he loves bagels. So the fish food that I feed this fish every day, I call it bagels. So every morning, you know, Tolly gets 2 or 3 bagels, and every night he also gets 2 or 3 before he goes to bed. And Tolly loves his bagels. I'll say that. And,
Yes, sir.
And speaking of Tolly,
Yo, without
let's
further
get this
ado,
man on stage. Yo, Tolly.
What's up?
yo, give it up for him, Tolly. Let's get some emotes in there. Let's get some paper hands. Whatever you got.
Yo, he's repping
Yeah,
that
what's up?
Macy beanie. Okay, Tolly.
Shout out to you, Jeremy, for that one. He helped me out.
Oh, I'm totally welcome to the channel. Glad you. I know you were trying to pawn this premium spot out. You know, you're asking everybody, hey, what are you doing on a Wednesday? can you come? Can you film in for me? But yo, you stepped up to the plate and appreciate that.
Hey,
So,
that's what we're here for.
without further ado, like we said, we got a pick him today. We got Tolly's here for the chat. He's picking on behalf of the chat. So chat, if there's part of this pick-em that you want Tolly to pick, make sure you let him know. Like, hey, look at this project, pick it, and we're gonna be picking NFT projects that we want to see turned into movies, basically, and try to ignore price, try to ignore roadmaps. It's basically just, hey, how would this NFT project come across as a movie? That's all. We're going for pure entertainment. We're going for action, romance, comedy, whatever you want to go for. You can go any route you want. You can get as creative as you want. So without further ado, let's jump into this little thing. Woo! Gotta love that pick'em. And so we're gonna rotate it. So last week, BSB went first for the chat. I was second. Jeremy was third. So this week I've got the first pick. Then Jeremy, and then Tolly comes on. And he gets shafted at the last pick already. Oof. So my first pick, and I had an argument in my head. Do I just take well-known projects? Do I just take some just absolute unknowns that would be hilarious for movies? But I'm gonna go with a sure thing right off the bat. So I'm wearing the merch. I'm taking Bored Apes because they already have the backstory. The founders are writers. They're creative people. They've got this whole story built. They got this lore built around them, and I think that's just the easy one because it's just the popular one. It's gonna be a blockbuster hit. I'm taking Bored Apes. I think that's an easy one for me, and I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get more creative later on, but I had to go with the Bored Apes first on, and I know I'm totally shaking his head. That's just how it is. But so Bored Apes for me first.
Interesting. I thought you told me you were not gonna take Bored Apes first. Was that just a little mind game?
That's what we call a little mind game right there.
All right. Nah, so I guess so. I get one pick now. So I'm gonna go. This is tough. Like first pick, you already know what the first pick is, but people judge the second pick because tons of projects can be the second one. I'm just gonna take him off the board because I know I want him later, and I'll regret if I don't do it now. So I'm gonna go with Jenkins. Jenkins the valet.
Solid pick.
So you basically drafted Bored Apes as well, right?
No, just Jenkins.
Basically.
Wow.
Basically.
Okay. So you got Jenkins. Yeah, that's a good pick. It is a project, and they do have those creative minds working there. I think that's a good one. All right, Mtoli, you got back-to-back
Yes,
picks
sir.
right here.
I got 2 picks, yeah.
Yep.
We were in Discord talking about it yesterday. We got some smart minds in there. I think it was pretty settled on the first pick. We wanted to do Asuki as like an anime sort of thing. And
Okay.
for the second pick, Meta Heroes. I think they got a pretty good build out with the cores and whatever. I think it's right up their alley. Already doing the comic, so it would be great.
Those are pretty solid, man. I'm kind of jealous at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
were
solid
those two
combo.
are high on my list. Absolutely. I think Azuki's was probably my number 2 after Bored Apes. I think that's a nice one.
Yeah. Oh, again, this is, man, super tough for me. There's a lot. There's like 3 that I'm thinking of at the moment. I think I'm gonna have to take them off the board at the moment, though. I can't let them drop any further. I'm gonna have to go with Cool Cats.
Okay. Cool Cats. Yeah, it's a good pick. I mean, it'll be worth nothing in a few weeks maybe, but we'll find out. Maybe the devs can make a movie instead of making a game. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're working on instead of the game.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, we love the cats though. It's but Cool Cats. All right, so now I got 2 picks here. Man, okay. So I'm gonna take World of Woman right here.
Okay.
I think that'd be a solid one. I mean, it's already we talked about it on Monday. It's already being in talks of becoming a movie with Reese Witherspoon. So I think that's an easy pick.
Mm-hmm.
And now I kind of want to go off. I think there's like an easy one, but I kind of want to go off the beat. Actually, no. This one's gonna be. I'm gonna pick. This one's for Harry. I'm taking Cool Man's. I'm taking the Species. I mean, I'm flying out. We're flying out to New York next week to go to a red carpet premiere for the Species, and they're already having a movie. So yeah. So World of Woman and Species are my 2 picks right here.
Okay. I like it. I was hoping that I could sneak in Cool Man's, to be honest. World of Women, I knew I wasn't going to have a good chance at that. I would let that one drop a little bit. So I knew some of you were going to pick it up. Cool Man's I was hoping to get, though. So GG's on that. Here, what do I go with? I think I'm going to go... You know what? I'm going to go with Huxley. I had to do it. I love my sci-fi. Those are pretty much the only types of movies that I watch. And Ben Morrow, again, great artist, doing good things. I would love to see this if this existed today. You asked me, like, out of all the stuff that we picked so far, honestly, if I put all biases aside, I'm probably going to see Huxley as a movie, like, first, even over Bored Apes.
Huxley. All right, that's another one that we talked about on Monday. They're already in talks of being into a movie, so that's a good one. I think that's again, if we're not looking at price or anything like that, that's a good one. It has the lore built in. They've got the story built out. It's easy to transition into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mtoli, back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Make
2
the chat
picks again, yeah.
make the chat proud.
This one straight from Snow. Snow came up with this by himself. He was
Oh no, this is
talking
scary.
Celebrity pick.
He was talking about the Meta crew from Meta Key and making like a space pirate kind of movie with those avatars. It could be pretty dope.
So you're taking
That
some
would
Metacrew?
Yep, that would be the first one.
Okay.
And then I have Eden Horde on here. From the guy that made Adventure Time art.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool seeing something like that.
Okay.
All right. So we got Metacrew and Eden Horde for chatting them totally right here. All right, yo, Jeremy, back on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect either of those two coming from him totally. I don't think that they're bad picks. I think that, people are going to have to know about them. Like, they might ask themselves who they are. But if they look into it, that's the problem, though. But if they look into it, then they realize, hey, that's actually pretty solid picks. Who do I go with now? Sticking with my sci-fi theme here, because I gotta take two of them. If it's worth having one, it's worth having two, right? So, but who do I pick? Do I pick Parallel or do I go with Frontier? And to be honest, I think I'm gonna go with Parallel as a movie.
Okay.
So I'm picking up Parallel.
A movie about cards. Cool.
No.
That's good. I actually was thinking about sneaking in one of those, like in front of you, just like trying to front run your. Because I know you're big into Frontier Parallel, but I probably would have taken Frontier over that. But yeah, Parallel. That's a good one. They got that story. They got the different things going on. I think that's a good one. All right. So I've got my last two picks right here. And this is where I kind of want to spice things up, all right? This is because I think it's boring to stick to top projects, to stick to these popular ones. So I'm gonna spice things up. I'm gonna go way down the list. I'm going with these aren't necessarily, I wouldn't call these successful projects. You don't see these all over the place. So I'm between three. My first one, and I can just see this into like a comedy or something, but I'm taking the Crypto Dads. All right.
Solid show. I don't know if it's a solid movie. Solid show.
Either way, they're going to be on the big screen. I'm taking the Crypto Dads. It's going to be comedy. And my last one. All right.
You should do it. You should just say it. It starts with an L.
An L? I mean, my whole draft is going to be an L pretty much after this. This is gonna be similar to me drafting the Gutter Dogs in our first pick 'em. So my next one, we're gonna go with. You know what? We're gonna go with Kid 8 and the G-Vols and the D-Vols. We're taking those. That movie is gonna be a banger. He's gonna be flying over a helicopter over Mexico, or whatever he said.
F's in the chat.
We're taking Kid 8.
I will be tweeting out an application later on today for a new co-host. We need somebody who's mentally stable and their wellness is at a point where they don't have to make picks like this, okay? So that was just uncalled for. We don't have to do that to everybody. Man, pick the G.
I mean, it just sounds like some copium. I think you're about to pick those. That's what it sounds like to me, right?
Nah, I'm gonna go with an unpopular one as well, though. But not unpopular because they're trash, but unpopular just because not a lot of people know about them. But I'm gonna go with Aku by Michael Johnson. I want to see that as a full feature film.
That's an easy one. I thought about taking that one as well. That was on my list, but I wanted to go off the beaten path a little bit. But Aku is a really good one. All right, Toli, how are you gonna make the chat proud? This is your last pick.
I've been seeing a few comments about something, so I wanted to ask you.
Oh no!
If you ever wondered what happened after the Lion King movies ended. And that's what we want to see. We want to see the lazy lions. And
there we go. There we go. yo.
There
Yo,
we
wrap
go.
it up. Wrap it up.
Yo, Lazy Lions. All right.
Yo, Pitch Dark.
Yes,
Yo, that
sir.
would have been a banger too, to be honest.
You're gonna have like tens and tens of viewers at that premiere. It's gonna be amazing.
Yo, Pitch Dark said Pixelmon.
Pick someone, yeah. Just
That was actually a sleeper pick.
Sleeper pick for sure.
all right. Well, there we go. There's our pick 'em. We'll put the
Hey.
you see you can see the list scrolling. You know, totally good job filling in for the chat. I had a lot of other like I'm surprised no one took punks. I kind of thought about it. But like I thought about like Robotos or Clone X or Oni. Like I think those would have been good ones, but I probably should have taken those instead of my off the beaten path. But I think my list for off the beaten path is longer than my actual list. Like I had like long necky ladies on there.
Oh, Pitch Dark. I mean,
I had
sorry.
Tigers Guild. I want to see a Tigers Guild movie. Oh man, just go way back.
Manga has a good one here too. Little Misfit movie.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one too. Super Yeti would have been a good one too.
Maybe one of these days we just moderate and we let the viewers duel it out, bro, because they got some banger picks.
They do got some banger picks, yeah. That's a good one. But all right, we'll put the poll up probably today or tomorrow at some point, and then and then our viewers can decide who won. Who won this draft? And I think I was doing pretty good up until my last two picks, but totally, I think yours is great. Lazy Lions, solid last pick.
Solid. Yep.
Yeah. So again, the list is at the bottom. We'll put the poll out like the tagline said. Some of the ones that I left off, just to throw them out there, is Deadfellas and Azuki. Those were some of mine that I had like in the bag, under my sleeve. I didn't pull them out. I didn't feel like they could compete with the picks that you guys were going with. Immutable, which ones did you leave off the board? Is there any other ones?
I definitely left out. I had Parallel and Frontier pretty high on my list. Both.
Yeah.
Missing Frontiers, like done the snippets and whatever on Twitter, looked fucking awesome, and I think that shit could be great.
Yeah.
We also had a lot of just crazy discussions in Discord last night, so shit got wild. So my list was long, and I was never gonna run out of picks.
Yeah, let's just extend it to like 20 picks each. Let's just keep going, right? But no, yeah, it's fun thinking about like the lower projects like them into movies. It just makes me laugh. Like, cause at a certain point, everything's a comedy, right? Like there's no serious movies whenever you get to that low. But yeah, that's good. We'll see next week. We're gonna have someone else on from chat, and we'll have a different pick. But I'm totally thanks for joining us. Definitely appreciate it. I know you were.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it. Keep doing your model work. Keep banning people. Keep timing them out, especially BSB. Keep an eye on that guy.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care.
Peace.
See you. Yo, give it up for him. Totally.
Yo,
Let's get some emotes in the chat.
totally brought it.
Yo, he brought the heat. Hey, these guys, I mean, we're not bringing up any chumps, man. We got BSB and Immutable up here. They know how to take a dub. And yeah, I'm excited to see who's up here next. But yeah, maybe one time we do got to put them against each other. I think that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, I think so as well. All right. Well, that's all the segments. That's everything we had today. Jeremy, do you have any last words? Anything? Any words of wisdom? Any advice? Anything coming up to look out for? What's on your mind?
Yeah, some things to look out for at the moment. By the way, the Quantum Art did sell out today. I think they're at like 1.4 the last time I looked. So they sold out at about an ETH. Here, let me share my screen here. Window. All right, so what do we got here? So this is just, by the way, some B-roll from Frontier, like we were talking about, could be a good movie. They have some video clips out like this. I mean, it's just a banger. Who wouldn't want to go see this? So, by the way, watch out for Ragnarok. If you guys don't know what this is kind of I'll put my nickname here, Totally. This kind of reminds me of World Wide Web a little bit. So this is a playable metaverse that is yet to come out. This is just a demo. So this has not minted. I think there's going to be 7,777 of them, and there's going to be like quests in here. There's going to be integrated avatars and playable characters.
Wait, why is your character named Mtoli?
That's my nickname.
Okay, that's
This is a tool that's coming out. This is called Conian, but it's not only going to be a tool. They're also doing like an avatar release that I'm sure will come with perks and benefits to this tool. But if you check out their Twitter, wherever it is, again, this is like statistics, analytics, discover. You can see what's trending in terms of minting. You can see upcoming mints. You can check out your portfolio. But that's Conian. But I wanted to show you guys their avatar that's coming out because I feel like it would interest you guys. Again, I'm not too much into the PFP life anymore, but that was not it, by the way. I think they have it in their Discord. I think it's a sneak peek in their Discord, but go ahead and check that out. That's Conian. And then the one that minted out today, for you guys who are into like fine art and photography, especially digital art as well, that's coming. I listened to one of their, whoops, this is not it. Quantum key. Oh, wow. That jumped up. Bro, last time I saw this was at 1.2 and 1.4. So this minted out this morning at 1 ETH. I mentioned it the other day. Right now it's at 2.3. And
that was the alpha. If everyone's
quite
listening,
a bit of sales. Yeah.
That was the alpha.
Yeah, so a little bit over 2x at the moment. I don't know what it's going to do from here. It's not financial advice, but if you did get in on the alpha from the stream the other day, you're already in the green, which is tough to do these days. But yeah, so shout out those projects.
Cool. Perfect. I think for me, I think I already mentioned earlier, Lobby 3. You know, I haven't bought any of it yet, but the sale ends tomorrow. I'm more interested in it now with the executive order, and I hope that there's a way that, you know, that helps bridge the gap, and that's something I'm going to be looking into. I wouldn't look at that as a flip or anything. I'm definitely looking into that. We got Top Shot packs today. If you're still into Top Shot, if you like lighting money on fire, just burning it, that's still going on. So we've got the waiting room. The second waiting room is open right now for the elite packs, the one that you can buy instead of using trade tickets. But yeah, so we've got that, and then on Friday we have something a little bit different. I don't think we're going to be having our normal stream on Friday. So I'm going to be headed down to. I'll be headed down to Texas to spend some time with family. Okay. Yeah, spend your family. Yeah, spend time with Yo Jeremy. No, I'll be visiting my mom. She's in the hospital, so we're going to check in on her. So I'm leaving Friday, so we're not going to have our normal stream on Friday. So I think we're going to be having Twitter Spaces hosted by Yo Jeremy, and I may be able to join it from the road. But I think the plan is to have kind of a morning Twitter Spaces. You know, get your coffee, get your cereal, get your breakfast, sit down, hop on the Spaces, and we're just gonna have people on stage and just talking and be Yo Jeremy. I don't know if you had anything in mind for that or anything more about that.
Yeah, not too much to say at the moment, but we're gonna put it on Twitter. You know, we're gonna let you know what's the point of showing up or what we're gonna talk about, so that way you can decide whether or not to be there. It is gonna be Friday, so we're just gonna be chilling. And I'm gonna put some of these links in the chat just in case you guys were not here. So that's Ragnarok. This is Quantum Key. Another one that I didn't mention, it's by Liquid Death. So if you're not familiar, Liquid Death is like the metal can water, trying to prevent like plastic waste and stuff like that. So that's Murderhead Death Club. I don't get a ton of vibes from it, but it is a big brand. Or an upcoming brand, so maybe if you're a big fan and you wanted some exposure to them, that's Murderhead Death Club. The one I talked about the other day, Murray from House, they set up their website today, so this is that. You can check it out, decide if you're interested. And was there one more? Oh yeah, Conian is the other one. So just putting the links in here for you guys, so to make it easier. You guys don't have to go back through the VOD and try to look these links up yourself. So they're all in the chat. Thank you guys for stopping out today. Let's see, what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, so happy hump day. Yo, BYOA. And then Paperhands. If you guys, I think I put the Paperhands chat in the link earlier. If you guys want to troll your friends, troll people on the Twitter, whatever like that, they're on Polygon, so it's like gasless. I'll hook y'all up with some. Just hit me up in the DMs or something like that, and I'll send a few out to whoever needs them and wants to send them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks everyone for being here. It's Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the week. And like Jeremy said, BYOA, be your own alpha.
Oh, hey.
And we'll talk to everybody on Friday in a different venue.
Yeah. Yo, GG's.
Yo, peace everyone. Thanks.
GG's, I'm totally.